Would you sell alcohol at a church event? Of course not. Hello boys and girls, my name is Beard and Marketing, and if you're joining us for the first time, this is the platform where we talk about all things marketing. Feel free to agree or disagree with me politely in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's grow our marketing community. So basically, going back to the statement that I just used to lure you guys in, you would never ever sell alcohol at a church event. What I was alluding to is the importance of where you're placing your product and how you're distributing your product, in how you're marketing your product. So one of the brands that I have seen has done a very good job in terms of their distribution and in terms of where they're placing their outlets is Java. So today, boys and girls, let's discuss about how Java has won in route to market in terms of how they're distributing and how they're getting their product out there. So number one, if you go way back, if you remember Java way back, Java never used to be as mainstream as it is right now. Java used to be like one of those places that you would take your girlfriend out to a date and it would be like legit. You see the way right now people are crazing about, you remember when CJ's also opened, people used to craze. They're like, everyone wanted to take their girlfriend there. Everyone wanted to take their girlfriend to CJ's. That's what Java used to be. Over the years, they've grown. They've become more. They're more out there. Like you can find your Java. Java is super accessible right now. You can find it in most places, I would say. Like they even have, I think, what do you say? They have outlets at certain strategic petrol forecourts, which is very interesting. It's something that I never thought Java would get into, but they got into it and they've done it well. And one thing that I'll also give Java is that they are one of the few franchise business in terms of their distribution. They still manage to keep the quality very consistent. One of the things I love about Java is that the food in Java in Nairobi tastes the same as the food in Java in, say, Nakuru, for example, which I find very, very nice. I wouldn't say the same about some art cafes. You'll go to certain art cafes, you'll get really good food, but then you go to other art cafes, you get disappointed. I would also say the same thing about your pizza inns, what do you say, chicken inns, creamy inns, all of those, all those franchise business that have a proper distribution footprint in Kenya. I would say Java has managed to maintain quality and consistency across all the outlets that I have been to. So I think that has really played a key role in their success, the consistent quality. But then also I think one of the things that Java has done very, very well, to be honest with you guys, is ensuring distribution, ensuring that their product is in the right places. I'll give you an example. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's literally a Java in every hospital in Nairobi. I find that thing very interesting, right? You go to a hospital. I mean, before these Javas were there in the hospitals, you used to go to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you go to the cafeteria of the hospital and then eat the cafeteria food of that hospital. Now the cafeteria food was often very expensive and it's not that good. This is my experience. I might be wrong, because the cooks who are cooking in those cafeterias are the same cooks who are cooking for the patients. And if you've ever been admitted in hospitals, most hospitals don't have good food. So that's why most people who I know who see get food from outside. So Java honored, Upper there's opportunity, and they decided to open up like small Javas in the hospitals. And these Javas have small kitchens. They are not as robust as your normal Javas. Some of them are even just like those small Java kiosks, but then they have Java food. And Java food, one of the things that we all know about Java food is that Java food is good quality and they are consistent. You will never ever miss with Java. Like if you're just looking for a nice breakfast, Java is the place to go. If you're looking for coffee, they have the best coffee. So like Java went into hospitals and they were like, okay, here, this is a nice place. We think there's definitely an opportunity. People want to get food while they're waiting, right? We know sometimes the queues at hospitals can be long. I mean, you would like to have a nice cup of coffee while you're waiting. You would like also to get into a space where you don't feel that pressure of the hospital. Because another thing about Java and the hospitals, when they're setting up in those hospitals, they don't set up to feel like a hospital. I don't know if that makes sense. It feels like a Java. When you're seated in a Java in a hospital, it feels like a Java. It doesn't feel like a hospital. And that almost, for me, isn't the pressure. So like when I take my son to the hospital, instead of sitting at the waiting area, I'll probably go grab a coffee, get him a hot chocolate, and we'll wait at the Java instead of just waiting at the at the reception. They've seen there's an opportunity here, they can tap into that. Another thing is, some people usually go to hospitals, and when you're going into the hospital, I mean, what you're going to do there is just to like give moral support and stuff. I don't know if you've seen some people just going to the hospital and they go in with their laptops instead of working at the reception. They'll go into the Java, they'll connect into their Wi-Fi, they'll order something, and they'll be working at the hospital at the Java, whilst maybe they're giving support to their friend. Maybe they've come to see somebody, maybe they've accompanied another friend who's seeing somebody in the ward or something. They just ako kwa laptop yake, ako kwa Java, anafanya job yake vizuri, anangojea time ya kuna what do you say, patient, anaenda anaona patient, anatoka anaenda anafanya shughuli zake. And I really thought about the person who really thought about putting what do you say, Javas in hospitals, and I was like, that person deserves a raise. He really thought about there is a need, there is an opportunity here. Opportunity number one is you have people who don't like hospital food and they just want an alternative. That's opportunity number one. So why don't we come closer to them? Number two, there are some people who don't like that feel of the hospital. Why don't we give them a space that almost takes them out of this space, this hospital feel that most people don't like. And then opportunity number three is, you have some people who just come to accompany people, or they are waiting for, maybe they have a relative staying at the hospital and they are waiting there for longer periods, and instead of them just coming and sitting in the hospital, they also just want to have a nice decent place to work. And Java has provided that space, because I also see a lot of people working at those Java shops. I think they've really done a really good job in terms of placing their product in the right area. And this is how you think about it. You see a need and you make sure that you're placing your product in that place, the most convenient area. It's like when you go to the supermarket, one of the things you'll see where they put Blue Band is next to the bread. Guys, it might seem very obvious, but this is how people in marketing think. Because you're coming to pick your Blue Band, you're coming to pick your bread. When you pick your bread, you're like, Maze, I need my Blue Band is almost over. Do I have Blue Band in the house? I'm not sure if I have Blue Band in the house. Let me pick up Blue Band just in case, and then you take it. So where do you place your product? You get what I'm saying? The thing that I'm getting at is ensure that you sorted out your distribution. One of the things Vusi Tembekwayo really stresses, and I agree with a lot, is that first-time founders and founders generally really concentrate on making sure that they have a good product. Having a good product is not as important as making sure that your product is properly distributed. So you can iterate and change the product as you go. One of the things that you'll see even with Dreamers, when we started, we did not concentrate on having a good product. We concentrated on just starting and making sure that we're getting the correct clientele to notice us. So as you continue, you iterate, you get new gear, you innovate more, and obviously your product increases. But then the most important thing is ensuring that people, the clientele that you're targeting, can see you're in front of them. And the only way you can be in front of them is ensuring that your product is placed correct. So I think that's gonna be it from me today, boys and girls. I hope you've taken out a thing or two. Lots of love.